Hello, my name's Alexander Pohl. I'm speaking to you from the forests of northern Sweden. My story is I spent 20 years in London doing sustainable finance, trying to save the world with money. And then one day I read about adaptation and deep adaptation and decided I needed to do something else. So I gave up trying to fix the world with money, and I've fled to the forests of northern Sweden for adaptation purposes with my family, and thought I could run away to nature. And the area I'm in is sensitive wetland habitat. It's forests. It's marginally commercial forests, which means there's a lot of nature, which is not so good for business. And I thought I could, just do a nature-based business and just kind of ignore the world's problems. You can see behind me is some beautiful nature. Yeah. Then, after about 6-9 months, I realized that actually I was on the front line of a war between nature and humanity, and that actually humanity and technology was just getting out of hand. I found out that one of the world's largest wind farms was being built pretty much in secret in the forests, using the largest onshore turbines, thus experimental prototypes made of carbon fiber, 14 times more energy intensive than steel, towers made in China with coal. It was just a story, a horror story. I couldn't believe my eyes when I sort of discovered it. And then I started engaging and investigating, and I found out the company is Infravia, which is a Paris-based private equity fund worth $4 or $5 billion, using Luxembourg tax avoiding structures. Then it was General Electric, who managed to find the first place to sell their massive turbines. And then you just look into a bit further, and then you're like, okay, they're avoiding tax. Okay, there's no lifetime carbon assessment. How much carbon is this going to save? Then you find out it doesn't do any jobs. Then you find out that actually it's all sensitive wetland, highly sensitive wetlands, a nature reserve, etc., which were all destroyed and denatured, and now we're fighting them. And I just wanted you to see what the forests are being turned into. And these turbines are 2.5 times as tall as the Statue of Liberty. They're absolute monsters. They were supposed to be 90% smaller in swept area than these. They lied, they exploited, and now they're destroying. And we're going to fight them, because this is one of many wind farms in the north of Sweden that is being built on this same exploitative basis in the forest. Get this, it's not going to offset any emissions. The electricity here is for Google's new data center expansion 1,000 kilometers away in Finland. I hate to tell you guys, it breaks my heart, but many of the new wind farms being built these days are frauds. They're being built for profit only. They're exploiting tax loopholes. They're mining subsidies. They're destroying forests. Local people live just nearby. Golden eagles, rare animals, old trees, you name it. SCA, the forestry company, they hit a gold mine when they saw that they could put wind farms on these marginally commercial areas, which are marginally commercial, as I said, because they're full of nature. These are the things we should be protecting. And yet, this is 250 million euros of money that's not being spent on education, health. It's not being spent on anything for society. It's just for the enrichment of Infravia, their investors, which include Munich Re, the Oslo City Pension Fund, W&W AG, a German insurance company, and others, because it's a secretive Luxembourg fund, so you don't know who's actually avoiding taxes and investing in these types of projects. It breaks my heart to have to say that Planet of the Humans is true. We're being lied to. Billions and billions are being spent to build these 20, 30-year vehicles of extraction, and they just don't care. So watch this space. Please speak up. The only way that we can avoid all of this is fighting the wind farms and making those who are exploiting be held accountable. And we need to take individual action and stop consuming frivolously. Electricity is precious, energy is precious. You should be really, really thinking about what you do in your personal life, because as Corona has shown us, when we collectively stop consuming, things happen. And now that Corona is loosening up again, we seem to have quickly forgotten our the power we have collectively. And as said, over the next coming months, you'll hear more from me, from the forests of northern Sweden, as we take to task all of those who exploit and who are just in it for the money. When things get really bad, these guys have already had their exit strategies. They've bought their places in places like New Zealand, and they're going to leave us high and dry. We're going to be the ones who are left holding the baby that they have created. And if you think that renewable energy is great, take a second look at the projects. What are they actually doing to regenerate nature? What are they actually doing to reduce our addiction to electricity? What are they actually doing to reduce resource consumption? How long do they last? How much wastage is in the model, right? How far away is it from the people who need it? Do you know they need to build all extra cables and substations that cut through the forests, and you lose electricity as it gets transported? This isn't for free. This is not renewable. This is not sustainable. This is not environmentally friendly. This is pure greed. So, from the forests of northern Sweden, my name's Alexander Pohl. I stand with the trees. I stand with those who care, and I might be one, but I am one of many, and we're standing up and telling people that this is not right, and you will be held to account if you exploit.